So tell us, how did this album come about?
It was just an idea that came into my head. I suppose from playing music from an early age, I kind of was in a good position that I knew a lot of these people who compose music in Ireland at the minute. And one day the thought just occurred to me, what if I actually commissioned them to write pieces, new pieces, and try and compile them on one album to give a kind of a representation of Irish music that's alive today at the minute.
Nuair a chuisibh a deagmhail leis na Commodóirí, cén seoir thug sibh dóibh nó cad dúirt sibh a bhí a tastáilteamh den chearnaíonn sa?
Níor thugmuid tror bí dóibh. Just bhí muid ag éirí píosa ceáin idir trí nó sé báimite agus figiúil agus gitar agus sin an méid.
Bhí bhí saoirse Imeall go éanú do chur chuaibh.
Bhí.
We get a very broad variety of styles in this album. Straight traditional music, if you like, music with jazz influences, Eastern European influences, and others. You're very well versed in different styles, Zoë. Do you think a lot of them composed with you specifically in mind?
I actually think that these pieces wouldn't have been written only for this opportunity. You know, sometimes it's nice for people to have a deadline, and for me to say, you've got to write a piece within the next month and it has to have fiddle and guitar in it in some kind of shape or form. And so they definitely kind of rose to the occasion, and it is evident throughout the whole album that a lot of the composers do take influences from different places, but really the main thing is that everyone, including myself, has a deep love and respect of Irish music, and you know, that definitely carries through the whole album.
Well, the thing about Zoë is that because she's such a virtuoso player that you're almost tempted to write anything because she'll play it, whatever you write for her. And then John as well, of course, her husband and now collaborator on guitar. It was an interesting thing to try to write something that was melodically interesting for her to play. And, you know, because I knew of the company I was in with Peadar Ó Riada and Charlie Lennon and Donal Lunny and stuff, I knew everything was going to have probably a strong trad flavour to it, even though all of those writers, and Martin O'Connor and others, are very much given to being experimental within the tradition. So it was a nice project in that you had to get all your ideas down to two instruments, to guitar and violin, and then you had to and yet you had, with both of those players, you knew that you had quite a wide range of possibilities.
Ik heb nog wel een ceol nou een tradition bio, maar wil je, goni, ik deed nu Commodóireacht. Agus wie naar Squeenlam gemaan, wie mij ook niet more aan niet er bij aan beter. Wel Amerika wie kan nog komen. Ach niet noos aan ik amschen. Agus wel wie een ceol lag ik amschen frischen. Ach Hosti siad an sin beidir trecha bliana hin agus tá siad an coitiint in is daoine cuma ceol. Tá ceol an jazz teachta má. Smailm de géisteach le rud nua atá go jazz agus, tá sé fíor jazz just bheith géisteach leis gur an sin beidir casa é. Go hálinn just scoil agus bheith géisteach le grúpa nó duine bháin casa píosa a chum méid. Ní fiú bheith scríomh mar bhfuil si sin úsáid agus tá buchas le dé.
I'm a real fan of Charlie's pieces. In fact, the very first album that I recorded, I rang Charlie to ask his permission for 2 of the tunes that I'd recorded, and I said, look, do you mind if I use these 2 jigs? And he said, yeah, no problem. And that's The Smiling Bride and the Handsome Young Maidens, beautiful tunes. And then I said, oh, well, I'm on the phone to you, there's like 10 other tunes here that I don't know the names of, maybe you could help me, which I rang loads of people looking for names of tunes, and he was like, oh, I wrote that one actually, it's called such and such. And then I went through another couple of tunes, and then the next one, oh, I wrote that one as well. And there was about 6 tunes that Charlie had written on that album just by pure fluke. I mean, I had the entire catalogue of Irish music to pick from, and I ended up picking a lot of his tunes. So it just shows you that I definitely have a connection with his writing. When I was a teenager and I was playing in all those sessions, the tunes that most appealed to me were the new ones that were kind of cool, in inverted commas. And it's still the same, because I teach now a lot of younger players, and all they're interested in are these kind of, let's say, a little bit difficult, a little bit off the wall, unusual pieces that they're absolutely dying for these tunes. So there's definitely a demand there for that type of music. And then I think the good tunes survive and get sucked into the tradition and end up appearing in sessions and concerts and all the rest. So definitely there's a place for it, and I think it's really healthy that people are composing tunes. And in fact, my students, I get them all to compose tunes for homework. So hopefully there'll be loads more tunes coming in the future. So I think it's good to try and keep this tradition of writing music alive.